to tell someone what I did, and you're going to think I'm terrible, but there's something about the way my husband left that nobody understands. Everyone thinks Marcus is the villain in this story, but the truth is, I'm the one who ruined everything, and here's what really happened. The worst part about what happened isn't what you think. It's something I've never told anyone, and it changes everything if you know the whole story. If I don't tell this story, you'll never understand why I'm sleeping alone in our bed while he lives with his mom at 35. But once you know what I know, you'll see why I had no choice but to push him away, even though I was begging him to stay. I'm going to tell you everything, including why I told him marriage counseling was for failures when he begged for help. And the part that makes me look worst, I'm saving that for the end, because you need to understand how perfect we were first. Marcus and I met at a coffee shop 5 years ago. He spilled his drink on my laptop and spent 6 months trying to make it up to me. That's the kind of man he was. He never let anything go until he fixed it. Everyone said we were the perfect couple. My mom called him her son from another mother. My best friend Jen said she'd never seen me so happy. We bought our house together, adopted 2 cats, and I thought that was it. I'd wanted life. But that's not even the worst part. There's something about Marcus I haven't told you yet. Something that started 2 years ago that I ignored because I was too proud to see what was coming. If I had known then what I know now about how much he was struggling, maybe I wouldn't have said what I said. I should have known something was wrong when he started working late every night, but I convinced myself he was just being a good provider. Looking back, the signs were all there, but I was too focused on my own career to see that he was drowning. The fighting started over little things. He'd forget to buy milk. I'd leave dishes in the sink. Normal stuff, I thought. But everyone was trying to warn me about something bigger, and I couldn't see that they meant he was breaking inside while I nagged him about groceries. I felt so smart about handling our problems that I completely missed the crucial detail. Marcus had been seeing a therapist for 6 months before he asked me to go with him. He'd been trying to fix himself, thinking he was the problem. That night, he asked me to go to counseling. Something happened that I've never told anyone about. He sat me down after dinner, hands shaking, and said he found this great marriage counselor who could help us communicate better. He'd already booked a consultation for us both. And I can't believe I'm admitting this, I laughed. Not a nice laugh, a mean one. I told him marriage counseling was for failures who couldn't figure out their own problems. I said real couples worked things out themselves, and if we needed a stranger to fix us, maybe we weren't meant to be together. The look on his face. You're probably thinking I crushed him, but it gets worse. He didn't get angry. He got quiet. He nodded, like he agreed with me, like he was the failure I said he was. Then he went to our room and packed a bag, while I sat there feeling proud of standing my ground. I know this makes me sound heartless, but you don't understand what I'd been through. My parents went to counseling for years and still got divorced. I watched my mom drag my dad to therapy where they dissected every little thing until nothing was private anymore. They learned all the right words to say, but forgot how to mean them. When they finally split, they didn't just lose each other, they lost themselves. I was 18 and caught in the middle, and I swore I'd never put myself through that. So when Marcus asked for counseling, I wasn't just saying no to therapy, I was saying no to becoming my parents. I convinced myself that refusing help made us stronger somehow, that solving our own problems meant we were better than other couples, just like everyone does when they're scared of facing the truth. He stayed at his mom's that night, and I felt relieved. Finally, some peace and quiet. While I was worried about having the house to myself, the real problem was that I'd just told the person who loved me most that he was a failure for needing help. The next morning, I posted a picture of my coffee with the caption, "Sometimes silence is golden," and got 40 likes. What you couldn't see in that photo was that I'd been crying for hours, but my makeup was perfect because I'd redone it 3 times trying to look like I wasn't falling apart. I spent hours crafting the perfect response to his text asking if we could talk, not knowing that Marcus was sitting in his mom's kitchen learning I had an anxiety disorder I'd never been diagnosed with. Everyone thinks social media ruined us, but the real problem started before that. The text messages between us tell a different story than what I'm sharing here. Mine are cold and short, pretending I don't care. His are long and loving, begging me to understand that needing help isn't weakness. While everyone was liking my strong, independent woman posts, privately, I was Googling how to apologize for being wrong and never sending the results. For a moment, I actually believed he'd come home that weekend. He always did before. We'd fight, he'd stay away a night or two, then we'd make up. But this time felt different. He'd said something that destroyed me without knowing it. I love you too much to watch us die slowly. Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, Jen texted me a screenshot. Marcus had deleted all our photos from his Instagram. Every vacation, every anniversary, every stupid selfie, gone. The comments on my posts went from relationship goals to, "You okay, girl?" But the DMs told a different story. Everyone wanted to know what I'd done because they'd all seen how hard Marcus had tried. I should have been relieved he wasn't fighting anymore, but instead, I felt hollow. That's when his mom called and said something that destroyed me worse than his silence. She told me Marcus was considering antidepressants, something I'd mocked people for using. She said he'd been struggling for months but didn't want to worry me, that he'd been trying so hard to be what I needed that he'd forgotten to take care of himself. You know that feeling when you realize you've been the villain in someone else's story? That's exactly where I was. I convinced myself that I was protecting our marriage by refusing help, but actually, I was killing the one thing that made me feel safe. I spent 3 days, not eating, not sleeping, just staring at my phone waiting for him to call. My friends all said to give him space, but what they didn't know was that I was Googling therapists, making appointments I never kept, too proud to admit I'd been wrong. Stop and think about this for a second. Would you have done what I did? Would you rather lose the love of your life than admit you need help? I know it sounds crazy, but Instagram actually saved what was left of my relationship with Marcus because seeing his empty grid made me realize what I destroyed. Here's what I haven't told you, and it changes everything. I did go to therapy, once, by myself. Sat in the parking lot for an hour, walked in, talked to the counselor for 45 minutes about everything except what really mattered, then left and never went back. The receipt sat in my email for weeks, a reminder that I knew I was wrong, but was too stubborn to fix it. Remember when I said marriage counseling was for failures? Well, the real reason was simpler and uglier. I was terrified the therapist would tell me I was the problem, that everything I'd believed about being strong and independent was actually me being controlling and afraid. Admitting we needed help meant admitting I wasn't perfect, and that was too scary. This is where I really messed up. Instead of telling Marcus about my secret therapy visit, I doubled down. I posted quotes about toxic positivity and choosing peace over drama. I looked like I had it all together, but privately, I was having panic attacks every time I heard a car door, thinking it might be him. The truth bomb came 3 weeks later. Marcus filed for separation, not divorce, separation. He left room for me to fix things, but I was too busy crafting the perfect response to see that the only response needed was, "I'm sorry, I was wrong, let's get help." I know how this sounds, but it gets worse. I didn't just lose Marcus. I lost his mom, who'd become like a mother to me. I lost our couple friends who didn't know how to invite us places separately. I lost the future I'd pictured. Kids with his eyes, growing old together, all of it, gone because I couldn't say, "Maybe you're right about counseling." You're probably thinking I learned my lesson and begged him to come back with promises of therapy. But the real admission that makes me look terrible is this. I still haven't gone to therapy consistently. I've been 3 times total, each time thinking I'll get fixed enough to win him back. Not because I understand I need help, but because I think it's what he wants to hear. Now, 6 months later, here's where things stand. Marcus lives with his mom and seems peaceful for the first time in years. We text sometimes, he asks how the cats are, I tell him about work. It's like we're strangers who used to share everything. I sleep in our bed alone and wake up reaching for him. I cook for one and throw half away. I watch shows we used to love and can't laugh at the jokes. The comments on my posts are supportive. Stay strong and you deserve happiness. But behind the scenes, everyone knows I pushed away the best thing that ever happened to me because I was too proud to sit in a room and talk about my feelings with a professional. Remember what I said about being 18 and caught between my divorcing parents? Here's the truth I promised. The real reason I'm telling you this isn't just to confess. It's because yesterday, Marcus texted that he's doing better, that he's learning to sit with discomfort in therapy, and that he hopes I'm taking care of myself too. He signed it, "Love always," like he still means it. And for the first time, I understood what I destroyed wasn't just a marriage. It was the only person who ever really saw me and loved me anyway. The worst part isn't that I'm begging alone while he lives with his mom. It's that he's happy now, getting the help he always needed, and I'm still here, too proud to really fix myself. I told him marriage counseling was for failures, and I was right. I failed him completely. But he's not a failure. He's proof that asking for help is the bravest thing you can do, and I'm proof that pretending you don't need it is the fastest way to lose everything that matters. I still have the therapist number Marcus found for us. It's still in my phone as Marcus Therapist because saving it felt like admitting defeat. Maybe one day I'll call and make it my own. Maybe one day I'll stop being the person who'd rather be right than be loved. Maybe. But tonight, I'm sleeping alone in our bed, and he's at his mom's house, healing without me. That's the truth,